So I'll just be waiting to hear where we're at as far as sound balance goes. And we have in the top right hand corner of the map as our yellow Protoss, we have Anthem. And in the bottom left hand corner of the map as our green Zerg, we have KeiClone. So let's play with our sound just a bit. Get a little bit of sound in there, and you guys can tell me where we're at, if we need more or less of one thing, more me, less me, anything like that, and then I'll make adjustments. So of course the map is Benzene. We have a traditional 2-player map here. Yeah, we'll go ahead and open that map tab up and give a look at it. Everyone should be at least a little bit familiar with it, especially if you're watching CPL. You come out, you've got a ramped, traditional ramp main into a natural, pretty tight, long choke. So if you do get choked off or contains can be a bit of a pain to bust on this map. And then it opens up into a very wide area here, a wide open third, guarded by 4 double bridges. And then a pretty narrow entrance, pretty easily securable fourth, little wider ramp here, very, very narrow on this side. And then you've got other bases down here. And of course it's a mirror, a symmetrical map, so that's your look at Benzene. And if you guys want to give me some feedback on where we're at as far as sound balance, that would be fabulous. Do I need to be louder? Do game sounds need to be louder, etc., etc.? Does the general volume need to be higher or lower? And of course we can see we've got a pool down here, so we are going to have an overpool opening from KeiClone. And Protoss, meanwhile, getting his forge, so as long as he builds a cannon, perhaps 2 if Zerg makes 6-lings. Probably doesn't have to, but if you want us to play it safe, should be just fine. And again, just waiting for any thoughts and comments on sound balance. And that Overlord on the way to the base, and let's see here. He's got a probe in, so he does see that it's going to be overpool. So he should build a cannon before Nexus unless he's feeling uniquely greedy. But it appears that is not the case. So indeed, a cannon goes down. And a drone going out now. Oh, and they're going to have a little kiss there. Probe is awkwardly blocking the drone. And he's tagged on, but he doesn't get a hit off. So let's see, Probe takes first blood in this battle, so it ought to be a good fight for the Probe, which is a bit annoying for KeiClone. He's going to need to send a second drone, or at least wait for some of his lings. Oh wait, he's opted to not make lings. Now that is interesting. Very interesting, to be honest. And again, any feedback on sound balance would be absolutely fabulous. As long as we're set properly there. So we got a cannon up, and we're gonna get a second gateway. Cast, but I'll play after. So let's see, we got our hatchery going up, and is he making lings now? Okay, so now he's gonna make a bit of lings, so that's an interesting opening. Good thing for him, the probe did not decide to indefinitely block his hatch, and he is gonna take his third base quite far away, but it is at a gas location, and it is fairly narrow choke, so as far as defense goes, it's a reasonably defendable third base, so that is good for him. And now the probe just going to be chased around, and let's see how Anthem's micro is on keeping his probe alive. So far, not doing the best job. Looks like he's about to lose it, so he loses the probe quite a bit earlier than he wants, and unfortunately, he doesn't have another probe out on the map. Hopefully, he will remedy that so we can get a feel for what KeiClone is doing, when his lair timing is going to be, and you want to watch for things like, is Zerg taking a second gas? Because if Zerg takes a second gas, then all of a sudden you've got that option to go mutas. 1 gas Zerg, not really going to be able to hit you hard with muta. Now if Zerg takes the second one, then you got to watch out for the 3-hatch muta type play. Alright, so we have a probe transfer on down to the natural, just a little bit late, not terrible though. And we can see gas has been taken. Do we have a cyber core going up? I do not see one, so this is going to be a very late cyber core here for Anthem. Because normally right now you would have a Stargate going down, so yeah, very, very delayed. Stargate can usually go down about 415, 420, somewhere in that range, depending on just how the builds are playing. Oh, never mind, he just starts one here. So quite a delayed cyber core, and that would be a problematic here, especially if we would have seen a second gas being taken from KeiClone, but he has not done that. He's working towards lair, he's getting his ling speed, and unfortunately he does lose his lings at the front there, so a little bit slow on the micro. And pylon going down here for Anthem. KeiClone just droning right up. Few lings having to be remade. Is he making lings at the natural? No, just 1 pair of lings. We've got 3 zealots out here for Anthem, who just seems something with his build is just a little bit sluggish. I mean, he's getting a 5-minute Stargate, and it's not like he's got 2 gates in his natural. It's not like he's blasting units out of the forge. And again, I would love some feedback. Are we in a good place as far as sound balance versus my voice? That would be very helpful. Probe coming in here for Anthem now, going to see the third base. So he has sent a probe out. He took advantage of killing those lings off at the front. No replacement lings here for KeiClone, so we've got the Spire going down here, and we're just adding some hatches, so it's not looking like we're going to see any muta here out of KeiClone. And that Stargate is on the way for Anthem. What do we have over here? Let's see, there are definitely some periods here where we're not making a ton of probes. That's going to hurt his economy in the long run. KeiClone looks to be a little more on top of his drone production so far. Alright, people saying sound is good, so that is fantastic. Alright, let's see, 1 cannon at the front, so we're fine. We're just going to start +1, so +1 is not going to be a factor in any Zealot timing here, given how late he has started it. This will probably not be done until about 8 minutes or something like that. And we're going to start adding a few gateways, and we're going to watch maybe for a Citadel. Yes, indeed, a Citadel. So adding a second gateway, so it looks a lot like a sort of just 2-gate, speed lot timing here for Anthem, but the build is just not very well executed, I guess. It's well behind the timings you want to hit. If you were going for this, you're normally looking to hit a timing somewhere around 7 minutes or just a little bit faster, and I mean his +1 and his leg speed are going to be done nowhere near that time frame. But, let's see, actually KeiClone looks reasonable. He's building a sunken colony because of these Zealots. Fortunately for him, speed is an eternity away. And so in all honesty, seeing that, I don't think he had to build that sunken if he didn't want to. It's probably a little bit premature in this case, because he's got the Overlord in there. He's seen that the Citadel just finished, knows there can't be any speed, and then that Overlord is going to die, so the Corsair will get a kill. I guess he has not popped Scourge yet. Okay, so, there's already a Corsair here trying to get a kill, and unfortunately loses that Corsair right away. No supply block here, but once this Overlord dies, there will be a supply block. Oh, and Corsair, I guess, just came away. Overlord over the cannon, so that's toast for that Overlord. A little bit of a supply block here for KeiClone. Oh no. Oh no, that is really bad for KeiClone. Nothing is being made here. So KeiClone is absolutely freaking out about these Zealots and the Scourge micro here, and in the meantime has not made an Overlord. He is going to be just ridiculously supply blocked. A major mistake here for KeiClone. We'll see if he can defend this. He does have a sunken, and he's adding a second one, which he definitely needs to do. Okay, never mind. He does have an Overlord popping here finally, but still, that's been quite a long block. Immediately does start making a few Zerglings. Now, that's a little bit disruptive. KeiClone did not want to have to make a whole bunch of Zerglings, for the obvious reasons that Zerglings are not going to be that great against these Zealots here that have their +1 finished. A little late on the legs, but getting close to it. And let's see what happens here. And just as a build reference for you guys, if Zerg was playing tight with this build, he could have about 3 groups of Hydra out at this time in about 8 minutes. So that shows you kind of build order efficiency and some things you can work towards, because you can imagine how useless this Protoss attack would be if there were 3 groups of Hydra. But given the situation we're at right now, this attack is somewhat scary. Now there's a sunken here, but these lings are going to get absolutely shredded, and he is having to spam lings, which again, they don't fight well against these +1 Zealots. So now Anthem running in with the Zealots. They're going to pick off a bunch of those lings, and now going straight into the middle line. Will he go for the sunken? He is going to try to get a few Zealots on top of the sunken, and let's see if he can take good fights with these lings. Are there any other lings? We got actually a ton of reinforcement lings here from KeiClone, probably enough that he can take out these lings if he can get his Zerglings to surround a little bit, although fighting like this, it's going to be an uphill battle. But the downside for KeiClone is he's not making any drones during this period, and actually these lings are just getting shredded. He's not able to get the surround on the Zealots, so the Zealots are still doing damage. Anthem dealing a tremendous amount of damage right now, and KeiClone's macro is just slipping up. He doesn't have enough hatcheries to make or to support minerals like this. You need probably 7 or 8 hatcheries if you're just making pure ling with this kind of economy, and so KeiClone is taking a ton of damage, because remember, during this entire time, no drones. No drones. He has remembered to start some of his Hydra upgrades, and he does get that sunken up, so the attack is repulsed, and while there weren't many drone kills, a ton of larvae forced into lings that were just easily murdered by those Zealots, and behind this, Anthem did a beautiful job just kind of teching up and seizing control of this game right now. We need to see, okay, we have a re-drone transfer. We still have some Corsairs being obnoxious. I don't think there are any Scourge on the map that I'm aware of. So now a few Overlords are going to go down here, and Anthem should just be working his way into a very, very solid position. We can see he's got about a 40 supply lead. He's feeling confident enough to take a third base. I believe we saw his Templar tech up. He's getting his Robo. So this is looking pretty tight here now from Anthem. A Scourge did come out, do pick off a Corsair here. More Scourge in production. I wish he would save his Corsairs and be a little more careful. Let's see if he can get away. Scourge can probably get one of these Corsairs. Let's see, that one should eventually detonate. Yeah, so he loses another one. Arguably worth it, arguably not. 6-1, half dozen the other. Usually you want to keep that mass alive, but he didn't have that critical mass to fight Scourge, so really he should have been prepared to turn around the second a Scourge came out. And KeiClone really struggling right now with his macro. Just a ton of minerals. I mean, he is getting everything going. He is getting his Lurker. He is not taking his third gas, though, so he's going to get Gas Star fairly fast. Especially if he starts trying to make Lurkers, he's really going to want that third gas. He is going into Hydra production. We also see no Evo Chambers. He's getting Overlord speed. We're going to add a first Evo Chamber now. Perhaps it died in the attack. But he doesn't have any Zerg upgrades as far as I know. And he's chasing the Templar. If you can get the Templar. Oh, okay, there we go. He has targeted the Templar. Let's see if he'll get it. He is definitely microing, I think, to try to get this. But Anthem doing a pretty good job here. And these lanes will be denied on the Templar. So good save there from Anthem. And I guess these Scourge are just hanging out. Corsairs have gone AFK and will die, so that's it on the Corsairs. Not proving to be of a ton of value here, but we can see Anthem now double supply position, so very strong, very strong. Yeah, this is CPL, and it's Not1LegitPlayer versus Sammying Fire. A few of the games have already been casted, but this is the majority of what remains of this series. Alright, so we've got some Hydra streaming out here across the map for KeiClone, but they are not enough Hydra to threaten this army by any stretch of the imagination. And Anthem now working off of a good number of gates. That looks like 9 gates that he has, or maybe more than, no, 9 gates, because he's got one at the natural. So Anthem working off a tremendous number of gates here, getting his third base up production, and there's just no way that KeiClone can really get anything done here with these Templar. And once a few more Dragoons are added into this composition for Anthem, it should be a pretty easy game for Anthem here. He should just walk across the map and kill KeiClone. Oh, and he's even going to find these Lurkers now. Has he started making an OBS? Yeah, he's got an OBS. So that's really nice. Let's see. He should throw some Storms down on these Lurkers. Surprisingly, does not storm the Lurkers. If you storm the eggs, 2 Storms will take care of the eggs completely. I guess he's just going to surround them. But he needs an Observer to get over here, which he is not bringing. But I guess, okay, never mind. KeiClone gives up on that OBS. And now we have Anthem moving out across the map. And I just don't really see enough units from KeiClone to defend. He could try to sunken up, 5-6 sunkens in each base and just turtle a hive, but it's an incredibly strong position for Anthem right now. If this was a pro game, I would basically say Anthem is going to die, or KeiClone is going to die, but it's CPL, so things could get weird, but all else equal, it's looking not good at all for KeiClone. He's being bold, he's trying to take a 4th base. Now, I think as soon as this army comes across, that base is going to die or be cancelled. But we will just wait and find. And behind this, Anthem taking his 4th base, and KeiClone doesn't have any units out on the map, so no way really to deny this base. He could attack it with 1 wing, but that won't force a cancel. Ideally, I'd like to see Anthem send a few Zealots down here, at least to try to protect it a little bit. But in this case, it's going to work out fine for him. Alright, so here comes his army, and oh, this hatch finishes, so that's annoying for KeiClone. And now we have a few units running in here for KeiClone, but it is just that. Wow, that was truly a whiff of a storm. But reinforcements coming in here for Anthem. More reinforcements coming in here for Anthem than the initial units of KeiClone. And yeah, over double supply right now. Overlord's going down as well, so KeiClone can't make anything. He does have a little bit of defense and a few sunkens here at the natural. So we'll see where this goes and where Anthem opts to place his attack. He might go to the 3rd base. He might just say, hey, I've got enough to kill you at the natural. I'm close to it. Picking off those Hydra almost for free. Anthem just continuing to grow. Finally slipping up just a little bit on his macro. But at double supply, is it really going to matter that much? Probably not. No Lurkers over here either, so let's see how good of a job Anthem does walking his army through this narrow corridor. It's a pretty easy place to defend for KeiClone if his Lurkers would have been in the right position, but unfortunately they are not. So it's looking like this base is in deep trouble, although his army is derping out. Actually, his army's not looking quite as beefy as I thought it looked. So there's a chance that KeiClone will clean up this army. Nice storms going down on these lurkers. Of course, the mining at this base has been cleared out, and there actually are reinforcements coming in from the other side, so never mind. That is the last lurker. Obs is going a bit stray here. I guess just barely in range. Okay, that lurker will finally fall, and with it, that base should fall. A little trouble getting his units organized and keeping everything together, but hey, he is continuing to reinforce. A few links popping out. The storm goes down. If these guys can all get together, looks like they're trying to make an Archon meld over here. And is he... No, he's not actually reinforcing this either, so Anthem's army is going to grow over here, and the third base for KeiClone is going to go down, and Anthem should be now more or less unstoppably ahead. He now holds almost triple supply, 4 bases to more or less 2, and really KeiClone just doesn't have any units on the map here. And in all honesty, I would say more than anything, this is just a difference in macro here. Anthem's build was relatively more tight and polished, and he kept on his macro, and KeiClone just didn't have the macro. So Anthem has just way too many units. Like, I like what KeiClone's doing here. It's really nice that he's denying this base, and I think he is going to deny it. But unfortunately, when your opponent has an army that's 4 times as large as yours, we all know how that goes. So this base is down, and KeiClone is streaming stuff in here. I wonder if Anthem can save this. No, he doesn't have anything here to save this base. Well, he's not responding. He possibly could save it, but now I think the Hydra is going to kill the base if he targets the Nexus. Yeah, more Hydra reinforcing here, and Anthem's just saying, forget that base, I'm just going to kill them. Not really a terrible decision because he can, and so there goes that Nexus. Although Anthem should be slightly worried here, because KeiClone can go behind the minerals, shut down mining here, and he can basically shut down all of Anthem's mining, which would actually be a scary position. You know, I mean, Anthem's more or less going to win unless he does something crazy like this, and this is pretty fucking crazy. I don't know why he just ran on top of those lurkers, but I guess there's nothing to kill his obs. I was gonna say, because like if he did something crazy and lost his army, and then KeiClone played this well and shut this base down, it could actually get bad for Anthem. Like, this is a bit laissez-faire of a way to play as Protoss, but it's gonna work in this case just because he's so far ahead. But ideally, you would not want to completely ignore your bases at home while attacking the Zerg. If the Zerg was a little bit stronger or not as behind, it would go much, much better for the Zerg. But Anthem takes a solid game 1 here over KeiClone. Feeling like Anthem is probably the stronger of the two, but we'll see. Perhaps KeiClone was just a bit nervous in the first game, and we'll see if he is able to tighten things up and make the adjustments he needs on Aztec. So game number 2. And we have spawning in the left-hand side of the map at the 8 o'clock position, 8 o'clock position, we have up a game Anthem. And over at the right-hand side of the map in the 4 o'clock position as the brown Zerg, we have KeiClone. Which I feel like maybe is sort of supposed to sound like Cyclone, but I'm actually really curious. And it could be KeiClone, but I am used to German pronunciation, if anything, where that would always be Kai. If you're here watching, you can always tell me how it's correctly pronounced. Alright, so last build we saw a Forge Fast Expand from Anthem, and we saw a bit of an interesting deviation from KeiClone. He made Overpool, but he did not make Lings when that pool finished. He continued to drone and put down a hatchery. And I don't know how I felt about that. I mean, Anthem did make a cannon, so you know that's all you're gonna get anyway. So in that sense, it wasn't a big difference, but it was a little odd, and it definitely reduced his ability to deny the scouting probe and similar things. Some people in chat fanboying Mr. Anthem here, presumably one of his teammates in Pete Twit TV. Don't actually know what you go by. It's KeiClone. Oh, KeiClone. I guess I can work with KeiClone. And we're gonna have a 9-pull speed here from KeiClone. I'm assuming we're not gonna see a 1-hatch player build. Off chance, but I'm predicting 9-pull speed, so some Ling aggression here to try to square up the series. Or at least get enough damage done to square up the series. Alright, so we're putting 3 drones on gas, right? We got 3? Yeah, we got 3. Okay, cool. So we're mining some gas. Overlord is headed to the wrong base, but he will see that plenty well in time for his lings to change their direction. Now he should pull guys off gas starting right about now. Okay, good, he is, and then ling speed should be almost immediate. Bingo. Nice execution there from KeiClone. And our cannon on the way. Now, 1 cannon in this case is going to be an issue, but let's see if he waits to make the Nexus, or how he responds here to these 6 lings coming out. That should trigger a 2nd cannon, and it looks like it is. Anthem kind of having a moment where he's deciding what he wants to do here. What's he gonna do? He's gonna make a... I don't like that decision. That's just gonna delay everything, and a gateway is not gonna be useful for quite a while. There's a bit more of a wall. If KeiClone plays this right, this is gonna be not so great for Anthem. So this is extremely greedy. And of course, what KeiClone can do usually, and what you usually do, is you make about 12 lings for this, and then you go for the run-by. So if Anthem doesn't recognize that what is going on, which he should, he had a scout in base, it would be very, very bad for him. Alright, so here we go. Let's see what KeiClone is running in and what he can do here. Oh, he turns away. That's really surprising. Perhaps he wants to wait just a little bit for his other lings for speed. He's going for these probes. Oh, do not... Oh, unfortunate. Okay, so start is not so great for KeiClone, as Anthem basically gets 2 ling kills for free. Speed is done now. So let's see what he does with this. He should just be able to run by if he wants to. And here we go. He's going for it. He's trying to get a surround on the cannon, but the probes are there to fight. And having lost those lings is going to prove pretty critical, but the cannon does go down. And will he stream more lings in right now? He's going to run 1 into the main base. Let's see what he does with the other 2 lings here, if he can keep up with the micro on both fronts. He is getting expansion up behind this, which is good. Attacking the Nexus is perhaps not so great, so he's not microing this ling, so that's not the best. And his Zealot is out now, but there are lings here, plenty of lings from KeiClone. A bit misrallied though, and he needs to get the surround if he's going to fight the Zealot. Alright, only 3 lings, that might not be enough. Alright, he brings the 4th one back to fight it, and he does get the Zealot kill, and now he should be able to dive on top of the cannon. So KeiClone is definitely going to be able to get some damage done here, especially if he can connect all his lings right now. You know, you get 3 and the probes can kill him, but you get 5 there, and oh, this is actually a pretty good probe surround right now, and KeiClone is unfortunately choosing to attack the Forge, and he's just not quite making the best decisions with these lings right now, which is allowing Anthem to kind of hold this off without taking too much damage. Remember, he is still streaming lings behind this. He's kind of trying to ling all enemy at this point, so this really has to do damage here from KeiClone, and if he wants to play it this way, he absolutely needs to start picking off those probes and then work his way onto the cannon. He does get a pretty good surround on the Zealot though, so that's good for him, but now he needs to go get that cannon before it finishes, although there's still too many probes there, so he needs to kill a few of those guys and then work his way towards the cannon. Doesn't have enough lings that he can afford to attack the wall yet. Although if he keeps up his ling production, that can become an issue for Protoss, especially with 1 cannon. I mean, the fact that Anthem is playing this with 1 cannon is agitating me a little bit. He really deserves to die, and should die, but unfortunately KeiClone just, I don't think he can quite keep up with everything he needs to do. The ling micro and the ling decision making isn't quite there. I don't know if he plays this a lot in practice, but perhaps this was like I'm gonna throw him off with this cheese, and it's just not that well rehearsed, and it's just not able to do as much as it should be able to do, because no way with 1 cannon can Protoss survive. He probably shouldn't have gotten that cannon up in the first place, but even with 1 cannon, lings start attacking the Forge, the gateway. The cannon doesn't kill him fast enough. It's a huge problem, and he gets a great surround. Let's see if he takes advantage of it. This is good. He does split some lings off to go for the cannon. Will that be a good choice? It looks like it might, actually. Should really attack some of these probes and not be quite so obsessed with the cannon, but the cannon holds by the skin of its teeth, and I guess KeiClone, oh, these little non-macro points hurt so bad. So bad. Anthem is still playing like a crazy mofo. I can't believe he's not making more cannons. That is absolute insanity. He's been a bit distracted. He's only just now put down his cyber core. He's taking advantage of this moment. This 1 cannon, please kill Anthem. This is like so greedy that it's just not even right. It's horrible. I hope he dies. Like, okay, finally he's making a 2nd cannon. Now I'm slightly less agitated. 3 is really what you should have if you're defending a ling all in or something like that. But alright, let's see what happens. He's going in with the lings. He's trying to attack the Zealot directly, but this is a pretty good wall. These Zealots will fight ridiculously efficiency, especially with probes and the cannon their support. I don't even know if these lings will be enough to get a Zealot kill, especially with some of them not fighting. Alright, so KeiClone is going to run in here yet again. Can he get it with... Oh, 2 of his lings don't even dive in. I think... Is there not in range of this cannon? Wow. That's amazing. Is KeiClone doing anything behind this? Nope, just lings. Alright, so this is very, very, very committed. In the meantime, Anthem is getting up a few extra gate and a Stargate. So he's playing his same build. He's starting as +1. Now he's got 2 cannons at the front. And actually, no, KeiClone has made a few drones. Maybe perhaps he's finally given up on this idea. Let's see how long it takes him to correct his... That was pretty quick, actually. Corrects a few of those drone rallies. Resort his hatches out. Let's see if he's paying attention here. And stop these guys going across the map. Still has a few lings, but he cannot continue to attack at this point. No way. Alright, these drones are going for a long journey. Long journey across the map. A few lings coming up the ramp, and okay, KeiClone notices him, and he's going to run around a bit. I hope he doesn't try to run by. There's 2 cannons now. It's not worth it. There's also a cannon in the main to make it like extra not worth it, even if he gets inside. Alright, so Citadel goes down. The drones, I guess the drones were found at some point, and he's going to make a 3rd hatchery. But take a look at this supply difference already. It's pretty bad. He is making a boatload of drones, though, behind this, as he did bank some minerals. So, yeah, he's getting a few more drones into his economy. But we got Protoss. I don't know. That ling tries to go in, doesn't find anything. We got 4 slots heading out onto the map, though. And let's see, did KeiClone see them? Because if he did, he will be making Zergling. Oh, he's in a pretty... Ouch. These zealots are going to do some damage. There's an Overlord in production, boys. He can only make 2 Zerglings tops, 2 pairs, 4 Zerglings tops, which is not going to kill 5 zealots. Not... Oh my god. Holy panic, Batman. Alright, well, he wants to make sure at least a creep colony gets in. But this is probably the moment where Anthem just says lol and walks down the ramp right into the main. Let's see what he does here. Actually, no, he's collecting his zealots. That might buy just enough time to finish these Sunkens. Alright, well, so he made 4 Sunkens. Let's see if he... Okay, so yeah, he's thinking about it, but yeah, with those lings out. Okay, so KeiClone does defend this, but the cost to defend this for KeiClone, absolutely massive. That was -4 drones, and we see there 2 pairs of lings, 2 pairs of lings, 2 pairs, like 5 pairs of lings. So it was literally -4 drones. So that's like double penalty, and then 5 drones worth of lings. So huge economic penalty here for KeiClone, and we can see that resulted in almost now working towards a tripling of supply here for Anthem. 10 more supply for Anthem, and he'll have him tripled. Of course, the Corsair is out. Where are the Overlords? Wow, his only Overlords are just out on the map. He has no detection whatsoever at home. And there's... Oh, is there a DT? I was going to say, there's no anti-air. Holy shit, like, if he just makes DTs right now, he'll just win. There's no anti-air of any kind. And he's a ways away from having Hydra. Now, he's not making a DT, so this game isn't going to auto-end that way. But, oh man, that was a very vulnerable moment there for KeiClone that Anthem might have been able to exploit. Although... Of course, he's got these zealots out here. +1 is done. I don't know. Let's see. What is the status of speed? Done. Done. Overlords, just it's Overlord genocide. There's 0 Overlords at home. He can't make anything right now. He's putting down a Spire, but he can just make Overlords. I wish there was a DT so bad. I wonder if he's making a DT now. A DT would be so ridiculous right now. So ridiculous. They're also Sloverlords on top of everything. The damage that 1 DT could layeth down upon this base would just be obscene. All the drones would be dead. He'd probably just insta-GG. Alright, so more Overlords hatched. This time he has gotten at least a single Hydra out, so he can at least slow the rampage of the Corsairs. Drone is sacrificed to the Protoss Zealot gods. And, alright, so this Overlord over here will definitely die. Just a 1 Heaterlisk out, which is not really a major deterrent to the Corsairs. They can definitely mic around that, but he's going to get 6 out now. So he'll finally have enough Hydras to repel the Corsairs, which is nice for him. Now he won't auto-die to DTs. However, Anthem likes to sack his Corsairs quite a bit. Anthem, if you're watching this, please don't sack your Corsairs like this. It's not worth it. Overlord kills are nice, but not at the price of, like, losing Corsairs. Corsair for an Overlord is not a good trade. If you have, like, 8 Corsairs and you can sack 3 of them to kill, like, 10 Overlords, yeah, that's not so bad. But that is a boatload. He's just gonna die. There's no way. I don't think there's any way Anthem could possibly miss-micro this, and KeiClone doesn't die. He doesn't have Lurker Tech. He doesn't even have Hydra ups. He's just gonna die. Like, once Anthem attacks, he's just gonna die. That is some major queuing. We need a few more gateways here from Anthem. I think he's missed some probes here, as he can only produce off 4 gateways at like 11:45. Now some of that was delay from the pulling, but we've been stabilized from Lings for quite some time. He's also got a third base up. Alright, here we go. And Anthem running in here to end this. He's on top of these Sunkens. He could probably spread his Zealots out a bit, but hey, there's more Zealots. The Zealots outnumber the Hydra like 3-1. 2 Sunkens left. Zealots charging into the base, and KeiClone is absolutely overrun here. Anthem is going to be your winner of this game 2-0. Waiting for KeiClone to acknowledge his defeat. Sending out a few Lings. Okay, so he just says, alright, GG. GG. Anthem 2-0 victory. I think that series was just a little bit one-sided. I think Anthem's just quite a bit stronger than KeiClone is, in all fairness.